various aspects of the business, and again, because the whole idea is to give everybody a complete understanding of how the good life works. Now tonight, what I'm going to be doing is just covering some really cool stuff that's happening, and it's all in the works and stuff. And it's all exciting things. These are things that obviously when you look at them, it's about traveling, enjoying the good life, making more money, all the things that everybody is interested in having done. So I'm going to start with something that I think is going to be very exciting to everybody out there. As you know, one of the things we've got with this company is a very, very unique compensation plan. And we have this amazing thing with the team tree, and then of course the long-term play is the legacy tree. And I was trying to explain to some people in the last few weeks that it's sort of like in the stock market. It's going to go up, it goes down, it becomes, because it's all based on the number of people that are joining the legacy tree, also based on what kind of growth we're at. Are we a high rate of growth, kind of a slow rate of growth, and then how many people are going to the legacy tree? So the numbers will constantly be changing, but over time they are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger as this company grows and evolves. So with the legacy tree, I just want everybody to know that this is kind of like your 401k. That's your retirement. That thing's going to build and build and build, and that's your retirement. The next part down is your team tree. Now that's your monthly residual, and that's something that's going to be constantly growing on a steady basis. And it's sort of like, it's the thing that's going to replace your paycheck. It's the thing that's going to allow you to be here on a full-time basis and just really, really build a very nice residual income and one day never have to work again. So the first part, of course, of our compensation plan is the quick pay. And the one thing that we've looked at is that we want to figure out a way to get you guys more money. We want to create more excitement on the front end, because let's face it, if you can actually build a bigger income at the very beginning, it helps you sustain yourself while you're waiting for the team tree and to start building and building and building up that nice residual, and of course then fall in the legacy tree, which is again that retirement income down the road. So here's what we've done. Now, again, I'm not going to give you the particulars tonight because we're actually doing all the programming, so it'll probably be on next Thursday's call. I'll be able to give you all the particulars. But here's what's getting ready to happen. We're going to go from a 3-tier payout to a 5-tier payout. And we're going to be making some small increases in the packages to allow more money to be able to put into those 5 tiers. Now, let me give you an idea what this means. If you took right now, for example, the way the quick pay works, that you get these bonuses based on your gold or platinum, the memberships of people that everybody has. But it's only 3 tiers. So if you took an example of, say, 3, who got 3, it's 9, who got 3, it's 27. So you're being paid on 27 people in your 3rd tier, and it ends. Well, with a 5 tier, if you just took that same thing, 3, 9, 27, and go one more, what have you got? You got 81, 243. So what that does, it adds another 320 some people that you could be earning quick pay bonuses on, and that's only if you were growing by 3 who get 3. Now remember, quick pay is not like your team tree. It's not based on placement and how your team tree grows. Quick pay is based on only one thing: your personal enrollments. So it's who you personally enroll and who they personally enroll and who they personally enroll. That's how we determine who is actually going to be in those 5 tiers of payment. What that means is this: if you're a real builder out there and you go put in, say, 10 people personally, well, you can do that obviously in the quick pay because it'll go as wide as you want to go. If you want to put in 10, if you want to put in 100, whatever you want to put in, you're able to do that. Now, those 100 each get 10, what have you got? You got 1,000 on the 2nd tier, and obviously you can carry that down to 4 or 5 tiers. You can see what kind of money that's going to generate. So what I'm going to do next week, as we come back and revisit this, I'm going to start showing you the particulars, exactly what kind of dollars we're talking about and how we're going to accomplish this and where the money is going to be placed. So the only thing you need to know for right now is this is designed to really impact your growth, probably for anybody that's new in the business or anybody right now that's just now going back to work and starting to build, like everybody's coming back from the summer and going back to work again. Well, to really hit those big numbers on the 4th and 5th tier, it's really what you do in the next 90 days. So if you go back to work today and you started putting people in, And by the way, this is going to be implemented in October. So it's going to be paying you in October, which is only maybe a month and a half off, 6 weeks off. So whatever you do now, it's not going to change that, because you're not going to change your 4th and 5th tier. But if you go to work right now and you start building your 1st tier, your 2nd tier, and your 3rd tier, what's going to happen is, by the time we get into October, you are going to have people starting to mature and go into that 4th and 5th tier, which is going to create some really, really good size checks. So I think everybody's going to be really excited about that. I know I am. I've been talking to a lot of the leaders. Everybody loves it. Everybody's waiting for it. So we put it into programming. It's being worked on. And again, next week I'll give you all particulars. So that is, again, to create some real growth and excitement for right now for everybody. Secondly, we've got to the point now where everybody's starting to realize that with the VIP club cards, my favorite thing in the whole world is that I don't care how great this is, if you don't get them activated, nothing happens. So we've got to start creating things to get the cards activated. And, and I'm kind of a little guilty of that myself, because when we first started these, I just thought these things were so amazing. You just throw them out in the street and everybody pick them up like gold on the streets and activate them. Well, we found out that, what happens? When you tell somebody about them and they understand what it's about, they activate them. But when you just throw them out on the street, not so much. Now, granted, it can work. It does work to some degree, but nobody wants that. You want a high activation level. So what we're working on now are methodologies to help you make sure that you get these cards activated, because we're finding those that activate, guess what happens? They use the card. So here's what we come up with. Number one, these are the first 2 things we're doing. We got other things in the hopper too, but I'm only going to talk about them as they're being put into actual use, so that you can start doing it. Number one, we're going to be adding to the card the wholesale shopping network. Now, why are we doing that? Because we do know, and we've learned from this card, everybody gets excited, but we all know that people don't travel every day. They might be traveling a month from now, 2 months from now. That's why they might not be activating the card, because they're saying, well, I'm probably not going to travel for a few months, so I'll activate it. Then they forget it, or they lose it, or whatever happens. Because the goal is, and I hope everybody understands this, if you get this card activated, we now have an email where we can start these drip campaigns, where we start reaching out to someone that's activated the card and said, do you know if you use this card, you would save this, or you could go to this destination and save that, or you could go to this 3-day getaway and do this. Those, we have ways to start creating excitement around using the card. So the reason for adding the wholesale shopping network, everybody shops. Everybody likes to shop at wholesale. So one of the things you can tell someone you have this card is, not only is this going to give you a $200 savings on hotels and resorts and vacation resorts worldwide, but it's also going to give you access to wholesale shopping. So you might want to activate it as quickly as you possibly can, because you can start wholesale shopping today. So that's going into place, guys. So we got that. Number one is this methodology to be able to increase activations to the wholesale shopping. But here's the second thing, and this is my favorite. We've also developed, thanks to Mr. John Sims, a very, very unique marketing piece. For right now, what we decided, Jim, I think, John, we just said we're going to call it a marketing card. Brilliant, right? Brilliant. A marketing card. But here's what it does. It's pretty cool. When you hand this to somebody, because one of the things, again, we're all about is activation, is you can give this to somebody that you only hand it to because you want them to be a customer and use the card, but you also might want them to be interested in the business, right? So at the very top of this card, it says, every time, and again, I'll do a screen share of this next week, every time your customers, save $200, you make $100. So even if I'm handing this to somebody, strictly because I will say, you travel? Yeah, I travel a lot. Well, here, let me give you a $200 gift for traveling. When I hand it to them like this, with this card on there, they look at it and go, what is this about? If I save $200, somebody makes $100 here. How does that work? Well, no, don't worry about that. That's strictly, if somebody wants interest in the business. But if you just want to save $200 worldwide, just take the card and activate it and start saving. It's fantastic. But guess what you've also done? You've also created this look of like, well, what if I wanted to make $100 on the card? What if, I do travel and I'll use the card, but what if I want to make $100? You're telling me every time I hand out one of these cards and somebody saves $200, I'd make $100? Yeah, really? Okay. Now, what have you just done? You've increased the percentage of activation, again, much, much higher. You've also probably created an interest of somebody becoming an IBO. And of course, the card goes into more detail here. It says, introduce the ultimate customer appreciation program. So if you hand it to a business owner, for example, and you say, here's the coolest thing in the world for your business, to be able to say thank you to all your customers. Well, that's pretty cool. So now they got that on there too. And again, all they're going to do is, tear the card off, pull it off, activate it, and go to work. And it tells them everything they want to know about what we're doing on the back. So you go to the back of the card, and it talks about what it's all about, how it works. Again, it's marketing information. So instead of just giving them a card that somebody puts in their pocket, like right now, and they go, what was this? I forgot. The guy just handed it to me. Or again, think about this. The guy picked it up off the street or whatever. He just sees it. I don't know what this is. But if he picked this up off the street or wherever, what's going to happen? He's going to go, oh, wow, I get it. Now, here's the coolest thing about this. At the very bottom, when you hand this card to somebody, guess what happens? On the back, it has a little place for them to put their name and their email address. Now, why is that important? Because let's say they don't activate it right away. You've now got their email, and we can reach out to them and say, hey, remember that card I gave to you? You need to get that thing activated. But here's the reasons why. Here's what's cool. It's perforated, guys. So all this what happens is right here. You hand this part. You keep this part with their information. Now you're going to get somebody activated and using the card. So simple, easy, effective, and we're actually also designing this right now not only as a card like this, which I like because you get a lot more information on, but a lot of people said, what about a sleeve where you would actually take the card, make sure that, and you create a sleeve that goes over the card that has a lot of information. Now that's good too, but I don't think the one thing you can't get the tear off and the ability to get an email and all those types of things that you would have by doing it this way. So it's a win. It's how you're going to make money because you've got a chance of converting them from just, saving money and putting money in your pocket to becoming an IBO and doing this at a higher level. So this is going to be a tremendous tool. This will be in place, John. We should have these, two weeks? 2 weeks. We've got, some samples and that kind of stuff right now, but we'll have them in your back office and you'll be able to start using them. So there, we've got two tremendous ways to increase activations, which increases the use, which increases your ability to turn these people into IBOs and making money from both sides. So I hope you guys take advantage of it. We're excited about it. And again, we've got some other things too, but when they're in the hopper, we'll let you know. All right. Next thing I want to talk about. And again, this just keeps building up here. Now I'm going to get a little more excited because remember, we're working on the Philippines. And we're working on this whole global concept, guys, where the legacy tree is really going to start to get impacted by every other country that we go to. And obviously, your income gets impacted. But the other thing that everybody wanted to be able to do was to say, well, man, obviously, the legacy tree is a one world genealogy and you get paid on, people coming from all over the world outside your organization. And again, remember, outside your organization, and you get paid on them if you're in the legacy tree. That doesn't exist anywhere else, guys, only here at the Good Life. Secondly, though, we wanted to figure out a way, let's say, for example, we're open in the Philippines, which we are right now, and you had somebody in the Philippines. Well, it's pretty easy then because we have a very simple system for you to be able to be in the Philippines. But what if you did? What if you don't know anybody in the Philippines, but you'd sure love to have a team tree building in the Philippines, building that residual income? Well, we've come up with a way for you to be able to do that. And this is really, really cool, what we're going to be doing. There's going to be two ways that you can enter the Philippines. And again, I'm going to, next week, because we just got so excited getting all the stuff together, I'll give you some nice screen share shots so you can see how this actually works. But the one thing that's important about tonight's call is that you need to go, before I tell you how you're going to get these two ways to go in the Philippines, what you want to do right now is you want to go to the pre-reg site. Go to the pre-reg site, which is pre-reg, PREREG.goodlifeusa.com, right? Pre-reg site, prereg.goodlifeusa.com. You go to that site, click on the Philippines, and you get pre-registered. Here's why you want to do that. You're starting to build your actual team tree in the Philippines. You haven't paid anything yet, you haven't done anything yet, but you've started to build it. Now, when the time comes, you're going to have to actually activate that position. And what it's going to cost anybody that wants to be in the Philippines and have a business in the Philippines and making money out of the Philippines, and we're talking about over and above the legacy tree, it will require you a one-time annual fee of $49, a permit fee we call it, to go in and be registered in the Philippines. Now, that doesn't qualify you to get money. It just puts you into the genealogy. But here's what you have to do to actually be live in the genealogy. 2 ways to enter. 1, you know somebody right now, that you know that's in the Philippines, that lives in the Philippines, would love to build in the Philippines. All you do, you go to the pre-reg site, you put yourself in. Secondly, you contact a person, whoever it is, and say, look, here's my ID number. That person can now, in the Philippines, go in, register on the pre-reg site using your ID number, and start building today. He can start putting people in the Philippines today, all over the Philippines today, and he's building part of your genealogy. So that's the number 1 way to go. Well, that's wonderful for those of you out there that have somebody in the Philippines. What if you did? Well, we looked at that and said, wow, man, we'd like everybody to be able to be there if they could. I mean, wouldn't that be nice if you could have an organization in every country in the world we go to being built? So we came up with a second way that you can enter. The second way is, let's say that again, I'll give you some very clear screenshots next week, so don't worry if you get a little confused about it right now. But let's say that I know somebody, let's say it's John over here that's going to sleep on me. Wake up, John, wake up, come on, man, you're embarrassing me. I'm trying to do this presentation live here. I can't even believe that. The guy works so hard, he literally falls asleep while I'm here presenting. I can't, really, I thought I was pretty exciting, John. I mean, come on, I'm excited. Hopefully everybody out there is excited. My director of marketing.
I get so pumped working for these guys all day long. I'm spent.
You're spent. He actually is. I tell you, that's really tough, man. It's really tough. We digress. Okay, back to the Philippines. So let's say, for example, I know no one in the Philippines, but John does. Okay, and John, is not in the business right now. So I go to John, I say, John, look, sign up, get involved in the Good Life. You say you know a massive amount of people in the Philippines. You can build a big organization, make a big income out of the Philippines. So here's what's going to happen. John, sign up under me, come in a Good Life here, and what'll happen, he could be living in the Philippines, he could be living in the Philippines, he could be here in the United States, doesn't matter. Let's say he's living here. He signs up as an IBO here in the United States. Now, he knows people in the Philippines, so he goes to them, and he goes back to what we just did. He talks to those people in the Philippines and say, hey, I'm in the pre-reg site. John's in the pre-reg site, signed up. They go in, they sign up under John. They start building, they start signing up people. They're signing up people. Now you're building an organization. Now the only problem is, John there that you signed up, he knows how to qualify because he's got people in the Philippines. Again, you don't, I don't, right? So what do? Well, what we're going to do is make this so cool. The way you'll qualify your team tree in the Philippines is by what you do here in the United States. Again, this is going to be a first, guys, and there's something cool about this that no one's ever seen before. So right now what we're looking at is probably it'll take like 4 new people. So you're in the Philippines now, you've gone to pre-reg, you've gone live, you're in the genealogy. To qualify to get a check from that team tree that's building over there, you have to put in 4 more people here in the United States. Well, what's so terrible about that? Because those are 4 people in the United States that are in your organization. I'm just talking about from the date that happens moving forward, you put in 4 new people to help build your organization here in the United States, but guess what it also does? It double qualifies you for a position in the Philippines. So now you've got a qualified position in the Philippines, even though you did it by putting people here in the United States, and you got that thing growing, and you got a team tree over there, and it's making you money. And then you got the legacy tree on top of it. But here's where it gets really exciting. On top of that, what this actually is going to create, which is one of the things I really love, but I understood why we had to do away with it. Remember the outside teams? Remember those? Okay, we moved all back into everybody, which is important because it gave the leaders, the builders, the guys that were building, it's something, it's theirs. They built it, so they should have all those team trees underneath them. But think what's going to happen here. People in the Philippines, they're building, right? They're going to want to do the same thing, okay, that, you did by getting in the Philippines. They're going to be in the Philippines wanting to get in the United States. They will meet the qualifications the same way. They'll come into the United States, and they're going to be out there coming in. But guess what happens? It's like an outside team coming in. And the way that's going to work, when they come in, they don't have an enroller there in the Philippines. They just want to come here to the United. They're going to do the same thing. And what we do, just like we did over there, we randomly place those people from the Philippines into your organization here. Now, put this into high gear, guys. You're not only doing it in the Philippines. Now we go to Mexico. Now we go to the next one. We go to Canada. All the countries we go to, we're going to have this back and forth happening nonstop. And again, it's going to create this unbelievable effect of outside teams, outside organizations coming in here to the United States and following your organization at random because they want to come from that country and be here and be qualified. And so you're not going to be upset if you wake up in the morning and like, hey, somebody came to my organization from the Philippines. Hey, somebody came to my organization from Mexico. Hey, somebody came to my organization from, wherever we're at, Germany, wherever it happens to be. You're going to be loving it. So that's what we're creating. Very unique, very different. And it's now. It's not tomorrow. But what you have to do, you better go in there right now. Matter of fact, when we hang up this call, because remember, it's starting to build your genealogy over there now. You got to go get pre-registered. That's step one. Step two, you'll have to go live with the actual permit when the time comes, which is maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks off. We'll let you know in advance. And then step three is you start qualifying that position. And there's 2 ways to qualify, as we've talked about. So that's the Philippines. That's the way we're going to do this on a worldwide basis. And again, we're doing something no one's ever done. We're doing everything different. That's what I love about the Good Life. One day, I've always said we're going to be $1 billion company. One day people are going to look back and say, how did they become $1 billion company? Because we were creative, we were different, we were unique. We figured out ways to do things that no one else was doing, and we're creating our own platform that supports what we want to do, where nobody else can copy it because they don't want to spend the millions of dollars and figure out how to do all this stuff. So by the time everybody figures it out, guys, we're going to be gone. We're going to be gone and sailing and living the good life. So that's the Philippines. Now I got to get another stuff because I got so wound up with that. I got so much more stuff to cover. Let's see. Okay, a lot of stuff's going to go fast now. Good life opportunity. All right. We're creating. What are you laughing about, John? I said good life opportunity. At least I woke him up, folks. That's an accomplishment on my part. I feel like it anyway. I feel like I've done something good tonight. I woke John up. All right, what we're actually creating for you guys is this Good Life presentation. All right, I know everybody's been talking about it for a long time. We're finishing up this week. We're going to have it in be in your back office next week. What we're talking about is an actual complete presentation of the Good Life, product and opportunity. The voiceover is going to be me initially. We're going to probably add a professional voice later on, but we want to get this thing out there. And obviously, I can do it with a little bit of enthusiasm because I love this so much. So I'm going to do the original one. And we're going to make this thing also available in DVD so that you can actually have it. For a lot of people that just want to say, press and play, that type of thing, you'll be able to do that anywhere you go. It'll be in your back office. So that'll be a tool so you can start having Good Life parties. I do believe we need to start having these parties for everything to really grow. But I also understand most people, like the new people you bring in, they don't feel comfortable doing a presentation. They're not going to have to. We're going to do the entire presentation, A to Z. All they have to do is play it. And when it's over, say, how would you like to join? Silver, gold, or platinum? Pick which one you like. Because we know the opportunity's there, and we know that's what will happen. People say, what do you think? Which one should I take? Silver, gold, or platinum? And then you can at least, sit down and explain why they want to do one or the other. Okay, so that's coming. Next thing. This is all fun stuff. Vegas. All right, Vegas. Vegas is going to happen on November the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Okay? Those are the dates. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. It's Sunday through Wednesday, and checking out on Thursday, I think it is. You're going to be able to stay an extra day or two if you want. That's up to you. We'll make all those types of things available to you. So the contest is running right now. It actually started in July. So for anybody that wants to go for free, with hotel and airfare paid for, we're going to take the top 10 that qualify. And again, but the minimum is you got to have at least 15 gold or platinums. That's the minimum. But you've got 4 months, July, August, September, and October to do that. It's going to take a lot more than 15 to actually get the free trips. But anyway, it's there. The top 10 go for free. So if you're interested in going to, I know everybody wants to go to Vegas, but if you want to go for free, then you're going to be able to do that too. For the rest of us out there that don't qualify, so go for free, you still want to be there because it's going to be an amazing event. We're going to be unveiling a lot of cool stuff we've been working on, but it's going to wait, and we're going to do it all live there at the actual Vegas event. Plus, it's fun to go to Vegas. Who doesn't want to go to Vegas? And it's going to be the cost anyway. You won't, you can't get anywhere else. So why wouldn't you go? So we're going to be putting up a pre-reg site. John, is that correct? We'll put up a pre-reg site for that next week.
When you log in.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, this is cool. Actually, I love this. John just told me about this. This is great. So what's going to happen is we want to get everybody going to Vegas. I mean, that's how you're going to grow your business, guys. You want everybody, every ideal you've got to be in Vegas because it's going to be massive. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. It's going to be, it's just going to be a great trip and a lot of great information. So here's what's going to happen. When you go in your back office, before it lets you go there, a pop-up page is going to come up and it says, would you like to go to Vegas with all the good stuff? And all you do is you go in and you put in your registration for Vegas. And obviously that's what we need to know, because we got to have an idea of how many people are going to go. We'll have all the information there about what the trip is, what it's going to cost, what kind of, everything will be there for you to look at. So it'll be there as you go in to log into your back office. You don't have to look for it. It'll pop up and block you until you say yes or no. If you want to go, you say yes, you fill out the registration form. If it's no, you just move on into your back office. We want everybody coming to Vegas. So that's happening. Okay, next. The legacy tree. I wanted to announce again that we finished the first time on the legacy tree on the top 15. That's done. It ended up paying out close to about $3,000 a person. So it's about 45 grand that went into the legacy top 15 spots and just got paid out. So that's paid out to all you guys. We're going to announce again in Vegas. We're going to do a little. We want to recognize the first 15 that went into the legacy tree. But also when we go to Vegas, which happens to be in November, the second group of legacy tree qualifiers will be finished and completed, because the next 3 months, which is August, September, October, also are qualifying someone for the next 15 spots in the legacy tree. So right now, here are the rules on that. If you want to be in the legacy tree, the next one, the payouts, you've got August, September, and October to do it. We're going to actually pay everybody on stage in Vegas and recognize you in Vegas when that happens. It's going to take, now this is going to be a little different. The contest is a little different this time. And again, we're going to put out information to everybody. But what's going to happen is going to be based on 3 tiers of your organization. In other words, your personal enrollments and those personal enrollments, and just like we do the quick pay, on 3 tiers of personal enrollments. So we're going to take the 3 tiers of personal enrollments, because we want people growing and building an organization, not just personal enrollments. Going to take the total. You got to have at least a total of 30 to be a minimum to even qualify to get into deciding if you're going to be one of the top 15 or not. And I don't know what the numbers are going to be, but it doesn't take a lot to get 30 when you're talking about 3 tiers, because it's let's say you go put out 5 and they get 5 is 25, put out 5 is 125. So you do any work at all, you're gonna have some pretty good numbers. And obviously, all this stuff, too, guys, is here to help you grow your business. So you need to use these tools to help you grow your business, to get everybody working. Because the key to all of us, our success in building this thing is for growth. We got to have growth. So we're putting all the things in place. We're going to have this 5-tier payout on the quick pay tree. We've got the money coming from the top 15 on the legacy tree. We got the Vegas contest running right now. Wow, what else we got? Okay. Oh, last thing I got for tonight. Because of all the growth and all the excitement, everything that's happening, and I do talk to the leaders all the time, but I really need an advisory board. So what I want to do is I want to appoint an interim advisory board between now and Vegas. What I'm looking for are 5 people that can help us, look at everything that's going on, what we need to be looking from the field's perspective, because sometimes we see it from the corporate side and we need to see it more from the field side. So what I would like you to do is, if you have some suggestions on who you'd like to see on that interim advisory board, please send it to suggestion box at GoodLife USA. Suggestion, no S on it, suggestion box at GoodLife USA, who you would like to see on the board. And if it's yourself, if you think, hey, I would be the person to be on the board, I would be the perfect person, also just give me a paragraph on why. What your background is, your experience, why, what you've done so far here at the Good Life. Because I'm looking for 5 really key people to help me, over the next 3 months, look at everything we're doing, corporately, out in the field. And then in Vegas, we're going to elect a permanent advisory board. Those same 5 people could end up on that permanent board too. So, don't worry about if you come in on the interim, you might not be in the permanent one. And when I say permanent, it'll be for a year. Every board will be for 1 year. There'll be some perks for the people on the board too. We'll probably take them on a few trips or take them to, some of the events we're doing and cover their costs, because obviously they're going to be doing a lot of work and helping us grow the Good Life. So that's it for tonight. I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover. A lot of exciting things. I know this is really going to help. The card we talked about, the VIP activation, the quick pays. So guys, thank you for being here this evening. And welcome to the Good Life. And guys, everything you should do when you're building this business, every moment, because it only happens, and this is my last little tidbit for the night, is nothing in your life ever happens good unless you visualize it. If you don't see it, it won't happen. You have to believe that something's going to happen. You have to visualize it. You have to see it. You have to feel it. You have to believe it. And when it happens, You're like, wow, well, I expected it. It's just like I constantly talk about being a $1 billion company. Why do you think I do that? Because I won't rest until we're a $1 billion company. And everything I do, every decision we make, everything that happens day in and day out, I'm thinking, is this helping us get to be a $1 billion company? If it is, then I'm doing the right thing. If it's not, I don't want to be doing it. So you need to visualize, guys. Visualize what you want out of a good life. Visualize what kind of income do you want to make. But don't just pick out some random number and say, I'd like to make that. That won't work. You've got to pick a number, a concrete amount you want. Maybe it's just for the next 6 months. If this is where I want to be in 6 months. And every day you tell yourself, I'm going to be there in 6 months. I'm going to be at that income level. I'm going to accomplish this in the next 6 months. You know, guess what's going to happen? You'll do it every time. Good night, everybody.